What really struck me is how much food is being wasted. In the US, 1/3 of the food that we purchase is eventually thrown away into landfills.
When our volunteers step into a school cafeteria, they're struck by how garbage bins are filled to the brim with mounds of banana peels, half-bitten sandwiches, and even unopened food. In Maryland, 25.8 million pounds of food waste pile up in our landfills and incinerators just from schools. This produces the same CO2 as burning 15.7 million tons of coal when it could have been composted instead.
I'm the co-founder and co-president of Compostology, which is a youth-led nonprofit dedicated to starting composting and food recovery programs at K-12 schools across both Maryland and the U.S. as a whole. It started all the way back when my co-founder Angelina and I were in 7th grade, and we were in our middle school and we just saw how much wasted food was being produced each day. And we started our first composting and food recovery program. And since then, we've carried that model across to the 26 schools that we now operate at within Maryland.
Compostology leads a coalition of 35,000 students, administrators, and officials to combat climate change and food insecurity by starting composting and food recovery programs in schools.
On a day-to-day basis, these composting and food recovery programs mostly occur within the cafeteria of a school. So essentially, students at the end of lunch, when they're ready to pack up, they sort their wasted food into either the inedible category or edible food that can be donated to others, reducing the amount of wasted food rotting in landfills and getting to help out in a way that isn't really flashy, because students can anonymously pick up food throughout the day without feeling judged by their peers.
Our composting and food recovery programs have had a significant environmental impact, preventing nearly 51,000 pounds of food waste from reaching incinerators and diverting over 213,000 pounds of CO2 from entering the atmosphere. Our share tables rescue almost 9,000 food items monthly for students and local food banks. Our year-round programs are a culmination of 35,000 students and staff in 24 schools, and our county now offers share tables to any interested school.
They had a proof of concept almost immediately. And when something works and it works well, that builds the buzz. And so the next school can simply look at how things have gone at the first school, talk to the people that had done that work. Their best cheerleaders were the people they'd already worked with. And that, to me, means you're a success.
With this model, we've also been really invested in building an infrastructure for other students to get involved. What we've done is work together with state delegates, county officials, County Board of Education members, local environmental officials like the Department of Environmental Protection, to form the Maryland Coalition to Reimagine School Waste. And from there, we helped our delegates create the Senate Bill 124 for the Maryland General Assembly in 2022. And this essentially created the first grant program of its kind to assist other schools across Maryland. And then our major part we did was passing it. We sent around 16,000 postcards to the Maryland General Assembly, so specific legislators, as well as the Maryland Secretary of the Environment, Nick Ilwain, as well as the Maryland Governor, Wes Moore. We've also been meeting with students from Rhode Island, Hawaii, and other states on how they can start their programs. I think youth really is the center of Compostology. We think of ourselves as a youth-led organization, and we maintain it that way. And so to any youth activists out there, what I really say is to go out, meet with your legislators, talk with them, and demand what you want to see. I think youth activism is extremely powerful because we have this unbridled and unrestrained passion to demand what we want to see happen. Sometimes you might be the only one making calls every day. You might be the one sending 2 emails in one day to get something done. But if that's what needs to be done, then so be it. I hope for a clean and equitable world where students of all backgrounds have access to a clean environment and the resources they need. So go out there and fight for what you believe in.